Hi everyone. So, hope you're good out there. It's a Sunday. How was church today? Okay, so straight to it. I just pop onto my Facebook page and I saw a couple of comments on Okereke Chukwunoya's Facebook page. And of course, for those who know Chukwunoya Okereke, he has been a staunch critic of this administration, Peter Mbah's administration. Why I like his own criticism is not the type that's jump into the foray of naysayers or maybe fake news or just say anything like what Okulora was trying to do earlier. He brings facts. He tells you this is what I have found. Go and check. Go and verify it. He started bringing out numbers of the amount of money is paid to local government areas, and some people were really shocked that that kind of amount of monies could get into the local government areas, and there's nothing commensurate with that amount received, and infrastructural development or any sort of empowerment within that local government. So you wonder, these guys collect the monies and just pay salaries and then go home. So he's factual when it comes to criticizing the government, and that's the difference between those who are in for what they can get, and those who are in for the actual fact of trying to criticize constructively. So here is what I saw on his Facebook page, and this is quite striking, and nothing is confirmed yet, but let me just state it. It says, politics is very deep and interesting. He is highly welcomed as he will now learn how to play politics. Okay, that wasn't clear enough. Don't know who he was referring to, but the next post was what now finally nailed it, because a lot of persons were saying, is he talking about Fubara or what? This one says, this next post that on his page, this is today. Tomorrow is here, is welcomed to APC. Laugh out loud. Okay. The next post again says, he begged, he cried. They have shown him little mercy. Anyway, get crashers are admitted. Okay. So those are the posts that he made on his Facebook page that's looking quite interesting. I don't know if it shocked you, if it shocked you in any way, but it's coming like a mixed feeling of some sort, mixed feeling in different ways, and I'm going to say it the way it is in my head and in my mind. If this is true, that it's been concluded that Peter Mbah is headed to the APC. Before I even come to that, if this is true, let me speak about the Peter Mbah, all the rumors we've been hearing about him going to the APC. I mean, it's been up to a year that I've been hearing about him going to the APC, and the issue was just that those whom he's going to be leaving at the PDP, how are they going to be infused into the APC? Because there's a PDP chairman in Enugu, there is a PDP deputy chairman, there are ward chairmen, there are local government chairmen, in PDP. So how are you going to absorb them into the APC if you're going to the APC? Are you going to now drop the entire APC structure and then absorb, the governor comes into APC with his own structure? I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So there's a lot around it. So those are the back and forth that a lot were being spoken, they were being, negotiated. So they were not done with the negotiation. So those kinds of conversation at some point, in fact, said he was not interested anymore. He's going to stay back at the PDP. He's more interested in governance rather than politics, that kind of thing. So it happens that it stalled, but now it's looking like with what we're seeing, because this guy has been in the APC for a while now, and he is very close with the minister for minister for science and technology, Uche Naji. So of course, minister for science and technology also did try to become governor last term, 2023, under APC, but he didn't come third, in fact. So it's possible that he must have heard from the minister. He must have heard from the hierarchies in the APC, and most likely, he's speaking from the abundance of what he has been told, quote unquote. Remember, this is not very clear as to whether whether Mbah is headed to the APC or he's not headed to the APC, but we're just trying to speculate based on what he has said. Now, having said that, if this is true, it means one thing. The Southerners defecting to the APC may not necessarily be because Tinubu is doing well at the government level, at the presidential level. Yes, from the hindsight, giving what you know, because of the monies we've saved from subsidy, a lot of monies are available to the federal government and by extension the state government, because the more the monies the federal government have, the more the monies the state government have. Like it or leave it, every state have received 3 times since this government took over. At the time that he announced the subsidy is gone, every state have received 3 times the amount of money they used to receive under Buhari. So it is owing to the fact that they are saving monies, they are no longer paying subsidy to anybody to go and import fuel. That's monies available to government, and they are sharing monies in the neighborhoods of trillions of naira monthly FAC allocations. So it is on one hand that the governors are excited that they're pushing monies to them, and the monies is coming regularly as a when due. The sharing formulas we're excited. They're excited about the sharing formula. And we understand that the state governments, the person of Peter Obi has also said that Enugu is now an oil producing state. Beyond the coal that it produces, it is now an oil producing state, in fact. And they needed to add Enugu in the 13% derivatives. And one of my videos I stated in the past was also laying credence to the fact that they may use that as a pinpoint, to get him to join the APC. That if you want us to put Enugu State to start receiving 30% derivation, you have to join our party. I said that before, way like up to 3 or 4 months ago. I think I'm going to get that video. At the time when Enugu was announced as an oil producing state, I think the members of Ramfa came to visit him in the office, and he made that mention. He made that thought that, look, Enugu State is not an oil producing state, that now they need to, put Enugu in that list of state that receives 13% derivation. And so I said that this thing might be a way of, it might come to the realm of politics. The federal government say, okay, fine, you want us to put you, join our party. Let's be sure you are with us, because you cannot be in the opposition party and then, not do the needful. Now, having said that, this is the final leg of this thought that I'm trying to put out. The southern governors of PDP extraction or any other party extraction joining the APC and joining Tinubu is not born out of the fact that maybe for the common man, Tinubu is doing well. It's not. Beyond what I have just said about the more monies being given to the governors are happy, but I don't know whether in other states this thing is trickling down. The monies given to them are trickling down in terms of infrastructure, development, and all those things. That's on one hand. But it might be born out of regional sentiment. What do I mean? For so many years, and I put this into perspective, the North have always had their way around politics. Whoever they want on board would be the one to, gain power. Obasanjo was supported largely by the North. That is the reason why he became president. Yar'Adua was, establishment person. Goodluck Jonathan, even though there were infighting in different quarters, largely because Yar'Adua was supposed to do 8 years, but he did only 2 years and died. So there was this talk about how can a Southerner continue when there's an Obasanjo, whether vice president should resign or something. That kind of back and forth that happened under Yar'Adua's regime because he passed on 2 years down the line. So Goodluck Jonathan had to finish the 2 years and then did another 4 years. Northerners now started saying, look, guy, we had this thing has to come to us. So if you look at the entire thing, the support, everybody that anybody did not always wanted has always been president. Right from military regime, they've always been ruling. In fact, they feel in some quarters that ruling is their birthright. And so this is the very first time that the South wants to, in some way, tell the North that, yes, you may have ruled so many times in the past during the military era, but this time we have now waking up. We are not going to be the kind of people who would fight each other because you want a certain person, and then we in the South will now start dividing ourselves because this is what you want. For the first time in a long while, in fact, since 1999, for the first time in a long while, since 1999, this is the first president that is doing what the North don't like. And it's not like he's doing something so bad. It is just that he's being fair. That's the reason why he's being castigated. Yes. Look at what Buhari did in his 8 years term. Buhari, in his 8 years term, was, we shouldn't be even debating it. He was nepotistic. He was so one-sided. Everything about him was just to champion the cause of the Fulanis in the country. That was all. He put people where they were supposed to be put. Look at the minister for education he put that didn't know what education was all about. Look at the minister for interior. Look at the minister for digital economy. Like people who knew nothing. Minister for aviation knew nothing about what they were doing. Put them in several places just because you want to empower your people. Look at what Kwankwaso at the time never said a word about how people are marginalized. He never said a word of how lopsided his appointment was and how development was going to the Northwest, only to the Northwest and one tribe alone. But just recently, he came out and started shouting that Tinubu is doing Yoruba agenda. So, narrow it down to what I'm trying to say in essence. If Peter Mbah, for crying out loud, will be if he likes, he can be in PDP, and win that, and he will trash anybody. Peter Mbah will use PDP, ABGA, Labour Party, any party, and beat anybody who comes, because there's really no opposition in Enugu State. That's the truth. There is no opposition. The only position we were looking at as somebody who can go again and see if he can try, which is Chijioke Odoka. Joined him a year ago or so. Or was it this year? This year. Joined him this year. So who is your position? Who is the person that you now say, okay, he will try again and see? He's joined him. Because I think he felt that this guy is doing really good and there's nothing, he couldn't have done something even much more than what this guy is. His ideas are crazily good. So it's more like a plus for him joining the PDP. But so, if it is true that Peter Mbah is moving to the APC, for me, it is just because some meetings have been held and the people of the South wants to tell the people of the North. It's not every time that you want something that happens. And this is where Peter Obi will now have a problem. Because now the South will now say, okay, you know what's in there? Let's go with Tinubu. For the first time, we're having a president. You remember under Goodluck Jonathan? Goodluck Jonathan did everything to favor the North. Go and look at the majority schools he built. Look at the infrastructures he gave to them. Look at the appointment he made. Goodluck Jonathan was so good to them, far better than even Yar'Adua, far better than even OBJ. But yet, they wanted him out. Then Buhari came and then championed their cause. They practically fixed everybody, fixed all not all Fulanis everywhere, as the case may be. But it's true. But now, they now see that Tinubu, of course, we know that 62% of the votes that he got came from the North. South did not really vote Tinubu in that last election. That's the truth. So North now is now saying that he is not doing their bidding. He's not really giving them the piece of the cake, piece of the pie. And truth be told, you can't always have piece of the pie every time, especially when, you know, a new government is in power. Tinubu is not Buhari, where he would give you a pass anything that you want, anytime that you want, or something. So this is my final verdict on this. If Peter Mbah, as somebody who has done well under PDP, who I know 100%, even if he wants to contest under PDP, he have a clean slate. Nobody was going to challenge him. If he is moving, then it means that the South have collectively said to themselves, you know what? We're going to continue with this Tinubu. Yes, we're going to continue with him. It's not every time you want something, that's when South will now agree with you. South might decide, you know what, let's go with Tinubu. We're going to stick with Tinubu, and Tinubu is going to win that election. That is all that I see. If not, what is Akwa Ibom State Governor going to do in APC? What is PDP? What is he going to do in PDP? What is Delta State Governor going to do in APC? What is Peter Obi going to do in APC? Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's just like they want to assert themselves and say, not this time. This time, not this time. This man is working, he's doing well, at least he's doing the bidding of, he's being fair to everybody. So it's not every time that you want something that you get. When it comes to 2031, when the power returns to the North, then you can do and undo. But be that as it may, telling you, it is what it is. That's what I think. Tell me what you think. I'd love to hear from you as always. God bless. Nothing less. Biggie more.